My card pack 2022 has arrived. Now we know what it's for. Let's open it up and take a look what's inside. Hey guys, Rich from Richmond Gaming. Hope everyone is doing fantastically well. And this is going to be another little box opening video, but also to give people more of a structured video around the changes that we've seen. Obviously, AMG announced at the back end of last week, I think it was last Friday, that we would be moving into a brave new world of standard and extended timelines. And that means that some of our cards, our beloved cards that we had from older packs, are going to be no longer usable, or at least no longer be usable in standard format. But in addition to that, we also got this new mode called Extended, which I'm really happy about. And I'll tell you why. It's because I get to use all of those cards that have been banned, but now in an official format from Atomic Mass Games. It was really hard to get people to play in events and things in the past, whereby I just said, look, we're not going to use any banned or restricted cards, because people are like, oh, I don't really want to play that mode. It's not an official game mode. I want to practice for an event or whatever it may be. Whereas now we have these, or we can run these proper structured events using that extended mode or using that extended timeline where all of our favorite cards can be used. So we're going to start off by looking at what's in the card pack. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to recap everybody on the rules, or not the new rules, but how each of those timelines works. And I'll give you a list of all of the cards that are going to be no longer usable in that standard timeline mode. So let's jump over to the camera and take a look what's in the box. Okay then guys, so CA10 is the name for this one. I'm not sure what other CAs we've got. Maybe some of the Ultimate Encounters and that sort of thing are CAs as well. This is CA10, card pack 2022, as we can see on the side there. And then we've got that original artwork from the core box. And then we do have a list of cards on the back, but we're not going to go through them on this part. We'll open this up and take a look at the cards. I haven't actually looked yet at any of these cards, and the thing that I'm intrigued at is, do we have any alt artwork cards? We know that the symbols have changed, so all of the cards in this card pack are going to have new symbols. And I'm going to go through at the end is some rules around what you can't use, and also reasons why you don't actually have to buy this card pack. This card pack is not essential in any way, shape or form. So let's open it up and let's take a look at what we have got then. So here are our character cards. Now, a little bit disappointing because we didn't get all of the characters. We just got the ones that have had changes. So hopefully at some point we do get an upgrade to these, and then we've got our tactics cards here. But let's look at these first. It's important to note that in the rules as it stands right now, in both extended and in standard mode, there are, or timeline, sorry, I keep saying mode, there are absolutely no characters that have been banned whatsoever. So really important to mention that there are no characters that have been banned. So even if you have got older versions of characters that are from older boxes, that sort of thing, everything is viable, but you have to use the updated versions of the card. Now you can either buy this pack, or they are all available on the Atomic Mass Games website, completely free of charge to download. So if you don't want to buy the cards, you can print them out yourselves. Absolutely no problem with that whatsoever. So this basically is just a list of all the characters that we got changes for. Black Panther, Bullseye, Steve Rogers, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Corvus Glaive, Ebony Maw, Enchantress, Gamora, Ghost Rider, Green Goblin, Groot, Hulk, big changes for Hulk, Iron Man, Kingpin. Interesting, I want to look at Kingpin. Have they changed the wording? They have. So this is one of the things I wanted to check for, because on the original updated card, when that came out, this wording here, additionally, each healthy non-grunt allied character, it used to say just allied character, which meant that basically grunts would count as 2. However, they have actually updated it with non-grunt. So that's really, really important that they have done that. Obviously, Medusa, we've got MODOK, we've got Okoye, Proxima Midnight, Rocket Raccoon, Shuri, Star-Lord, Ultron, Valkyrie, and Winter Soldier. I didn't count them then, so I'm not sure actually how many characters there are that they've changed, but quite a few. Important to note, there are some other changes that have happened that are not reflected in these cards as well. So, are a couple of other characters, I should say. So, Beast, Sam Wilson have also had some changes made to their card. There may be others, so always go check them out. I'll leave links down in the description below for each of them. So, guys, it's not essential to buy these. The reason I did is A, completionist. B, I am playing Guardians of the Galaxy. So if I look at this pack here, how many cards am I going to be using out of this pack? It's got Gamora, Ghost Rider, Groot. This shows you how bad Guardians were beforehand with all the changes they've had. Rocket, Star-Lord, probably even a little bit of Winter Soldier at some point as well. So I'm actually using a lot of these cards. Obviously, I'll be using all of them at some point. But yeah, right now in my roster, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of the cards are in the new format. So yeah, it was important for me to get them. Let's take a look then at the other cards. And I can already see, I don't think they've changed any of the artwork on any of these. The big thing that has changed, however, and let me just grab my other card pack and I'll show you exactly what has changed and what it is that we are looking out for now with these new cards. So let me pull my little trusty booklet that I've got here. So what's that first card there? 1-2 punch. And I'm going to show you what it is we're looking for and why they have done this. But also, just to let you guys know, again, you do not need to buy these new packs to go through these new cards. So at first glance, these cards look and read completely identical. So the artwork is identical. If we look at the back, it's probably easier to do that. So the artwork is completely identical. However, the thing that we are looking for is this little symbol in the corner here. So anything moving forward that has this symbol on, any tactics cards that have this symbol on, this Spider-Man face, are currently out of rotation. So you cannot use these cards. What this card pack has done has taken some of these cards with the spider symbol on and has updated them to Mjolnir or Thor's hammer, or just a hammer, whatever you want to call it. But you do not need these cards with these symbols on. So it's not essential that you have this card pack to get hold of these cards. You can turn it to a tournament using a card with this symbol as long as it has a duplicate card with this symbol on it, and there's going to be absolutely no problem whatsoever. So we can see them, we'll go through. So we've got 1-2 punch, patch up, follow me, ricochet blast, cosmic invigoration, heave ho, Avengers assemble, second wind, dark rain, Age of Ultron, escort to safety, sucker, smash, disarm, recall. I'm not going to go through all these guys because there's a lot of cards in here, but you can see lots and lots of cards that have been duplicated. These are all cards that would have had that spider symbol on them, and they now have this new symbol on them. So really, really important that you understand when you are list building, guys, when you are list building, the list of cards that you can no longer pull from or pick from. I'm just going through there just to make sure there's nothing else, and a little bit disappointed that we're not getting any alternate artworks. You guys know me, I love my alternate artwork. We've got all the gems in here as well, so a copy of each of the gems, because they will have had, or some of them will have had, the spider symbol on there as well, but it means that you've got one of each now. And also, let's not forget, guys, that in the new game mode, the reality gem and the space gem are now going to be restricted cards as well. So they've gone into that restricted pile, because there are still some restricted cards. Even though they've banned some cards completely or rotated cards out, there are still going to be some cards that are restricted as well. So yeah, that's everything we get in the pack. As I say, nothing in here is essential, or nothing in here is mandatory. You can either print them off yourself or just use the existing cards that you've got. You just need to make sure that the cards you want to play is actually still playable. So with that, let's jump back over to the camera, and I'm going to go through the full list of cards that are now no longer playable in standard mode, and then just talk you through exactly what that looks like. So yeah, let's jump over to the camera and then we'll go through that. Okay guys, so that's everything that comes in the card pack 2022, but what I now want to go into is the standard and extended timelines, because there's going to be a little bit of information gathering you need to do, but luckily I'm going to point you in the direction of a couple of roster building tools that will make it much easier. So first of all, standard and extended timelines. What are they? Well, standard is going to be whatever is currently in rotation. They say that it's been curated for the best possible player experience. It's a way of them being able to remove cards that are problematic en masse, rather than having a huge restricted list. So they're going to have sets of cards moving forward, and they've always been there. So as well as the little spider symbol that we had, as you can see on screen now, the three other symbols that we've got. So we've got that X symbol that was introduced from the X-Men packs, I think. We've then got Mjolnir's hammer, or Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, and then we've got the cityscape. So there are going to be the three types of cards now moving forward, or three sets of cards that we are going to be able to use. But it is only going to affect Team Tactics cards and Infinity Gems. There's no restrictions around Crisis cards, at least not in this part, or characters, as I mentioned. And we'll get into in a moment all the cards that are no longer usable in standard play. Extended edition, guys, is giving you the freedom to use any card whatsoever, whether it's been banned in the past. The only thing I would say again is you need to make sure you're going to be using the most up-to-date errated version of that card. So there are some tactics cards that have had erratas, some gems that have had errata before. You need to make sure you're using the up-to-date version of that card before it was taken out of rotation. But other than that, extended mode, fill your boot. And I am going to be running an extended event over on TTS, hopefully in the next month or so. Probably wait till the summer holidays are out of the way. Okay then guys, so we know the three set symbols that we can use. We know that we've got this brand new big set deck of cards here that are illegal, but which cards did not make the cut? Well, let's go through that then. So I've got a document here that goes through it all, and I'm going to give you a link to a website that will help you build your rosters, and it shows them really easily. So here is a list of all the tactics cards that you may have got from previous boxes that you're not going to see them on a banned list now. They just have the wrong set symbol and there's no replacement card for them. So starting off in the core set, and quite surprisingly, there's only one card in the core set that you're not going to be able to use in standard mode at all, and that is Drop Off. Now, it's a card that we haven't had access to for some time, but yeah, Drop Off is still a card that is no longer usable, which is interesting for the core box. You know, you'd have thought there'd have been more in there. Next up then, we've got Seeing Red coming from Hulk's character pack. In Black Panther and Killmonger's pack, we've got Battle Lust. In the Spider-Man and Ghost Spider pack, we're actually losing 2 cards now. So all you've got is a card that has been banned for a while, but the Web Warriors are in a unique position where they are actually going to be the only affiliation that are losing a affiliated Team Tactics card, and that is Web Barrier. So really interesting that they went down the route, and it's not like Web Barrier is an overly used card. So yeah, interesting that they did that. Vision and Winter Soldier pack. Then you're going to be losing Field Dressing. That was already on the restricted list, but it's now no longer available whatsoever. And you're also losing Tactical Analysis. In the Gamora and Nebula pack, you're going to be losing Med pack, and in the Star-Lord pack, you're going to be losing Rocket Boots. Obviously, one of those is far more impactful than the other, being Med pack. So it's going to make other cards now that can provide healing, or even other characters that can provide healing, at a bit of a premium. So it'll be interesting to see what impact that has on the meta. Drax and Ronan the Accuser, you've got Unearthly Rage. Green Goblin, you've got Blind Obsession. Ant-Man and the Wasp, you're losing 2 cards in there as well, which is going to be No Escape and Reversal. So the next one is an interesting one, because it's one of only a couple of cards that's ever had a second version of the card printed. And I want to just run you through why it's a little bit strange. So it's Grievous Wounds from the Angela and Enchantress pack. Now, there is a alternative artwork, alternative version of this card available that comes in the, I want to say, Omega Red pack. But yet, Grievous Wounds does not come in this 2022 pack. However, there is another example of this, and that is what I said before, which is 1-2 Punch. 1-2 Punch came in the core box, I believe, and there is a separate alternative artwork version of that I want to say came in the Wolverine and Sabretooth box, that's got the X symbol on there, and yet that was reprinted. They gave you another version of that, but they didn't give us another version of Grievous Wounds. So this is what I would say, guys, is look, and I think they even put this in their documentation that they put out there. Grievous Wounds is not on the banned list. It didn't get a reprint, but it is still in rotation because there is a card that still exists. So even if you don't have that Omega Red card, you can still use this card. There's absolutely no problem in there whatsoever. And if any TO out there tries to stop you from doing that, just explain to them how it, what it is and how it works and why they shouldn't be a TO. Anyway, on to the next one. So Kingpin, Hired Muscle, it's a card that was already banned anyway, so no difference really there. Bullseye and Daredevil, 2 cards from this one. Again, we've lost Acute Sensors and we've lost Climbing Gear. I would say outside of the previously restricted cards that have come out of rotation, Climbing Gear is one that will have a big impact. Being able to make that additional move, even though it was only a short move, it was really powerful. For economy of action economy from characters is really important in this game, and Climbing Gear is one I think that a lot of people are going to have to rethink their strategies when they're playing certain characters. Punisher and Taskmaster, then we lost Extreme Conditioning and Heavy Ordnance, and then lastly Black Ball and Medusa, we lost the Bitter Rivals cards. Now, guys, it's also really important to point out that for the standard game mode, there is still a banned and restricted list in place. So that list that I've just given you there, and I will put it down in the description below, is not the full exclusive list of cards that you can no longer use in the standard game mode. So let's take a quick look then, and we did this on live stream the other day, but we'll do it on here as well. And you can see below me there, we've got the banned and restricted lists. We've got the standard timeline and the extended timeline. Nothing is banned in extended. That means cards that were previously banned, like the Drop Off, like the Hired Muscle, are back into play for extended. But we've got a new restricted list that's made up of the Reality Gem and the Space Gem. Really hampering Black Order, but also hampering taking that or splashing that 8 threat Thanos into almost any list anywhere. Because if you take them two, you're not going to be able to take any other cards to help the rest of your team. So it's really going to give people a choice that they have to make. Advanced R&D has made its way into the restricted list. Brace for Impact has always been there. Disarm is now in there, Indomitable's in there, Patch-Up's always been in, and Sacrifice has been in as well. So we're seeing cards that are controlling, you know, cards that are really set up around plays or stopping plays have really been put into that restricted list. And the Space and Reality needed doing just to be able to stop that splashable Thanos everywhere. I think that's a really, really good idea that they did. And then we have 2 banned cards still. Panic Grips has always been in there, but Mystic Wakandan Herbs is also on the ban list. We need some more, in particular, extract scenarios. It's not good that they keep banning these extracts. Change what they do, put in a errata out there, change the points value, whatever it is, but don't keep banning the cards that we can play, because, guys, the crisis cards are the lifeblood of this game, and the fewer of those we have, the less choice there is, the more stagnant and stale the game becomes. So that's just my thoughts on that one. And there we go, guys. That is a breakdown of everything we get in this new card pack 2022, plus another quick rundown of the standard and extended timelines, just so you guys know exactly what it is you can play. And I did say that I would point you in the direction that makes this so much easier. And if you take a look, link down in the description below, but it is a tool called Cerebro. I use this for building all of my rosters. If you saw me doing the Guardians of the Galaxy roster the other day, yesterday or the day before, I think it was, that's the tool that I use. Again, there'll be a link down in the description below, and it highlights the cards. So it will tell you, yellow is that they are restricted, red means that they're no longer in play, whether they've been banned or whether they're just out of rotation. A few people have been asking, do you think that we're going to see cards come back into rotation, card sets come back into rotation? I honestly don't think we are, guys. I think we're going to see more cards taken out eventually. I think when we are maybe another 2 years down the line, we're going to see some new card sets introduced, and that will mean that the current crop of cards that we have access to now will change. What you'll probably see will be another card pack for, I think the X ones were the next ones, and it may be that the Asgardian sort of hammer is the one that always remains, and then the others are swapped out. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think we're going to see more cards being rotated out in the future as the game progresses, because it means now moving forward they don't have to worry as much about new things they build in the game being broken by old cards from 2, 3, 4 years ago. So I think personally it's a good thing for the game. I know not everyone feels the same, but I think it keeps it fresh, and I think it makes it significantly easier for newer players coming into the game itself. Guys, if you've liked this video in any way, shape or form, all I ask is that you leave a like. It really, really does help. And leave a comment down in the comment section as well, good or bad. What do you guys think of this new setup? Are you going to be playing standard? Are you going to be playing extended? What are you most excited for? Let me know down in the comment section below. Also, if you do want to support the channel even further, we do have our Patreon up and running. And a huge shout out to every single person who is already supporting us on Patreon. Guys, I am... by the time you've seen this, it was probably yesterday that I've recorded my first ever live MCP battle report, so that will be coming out very, very shortly, so keep an eye out for that one. And yeah, big shout out to everyone who's supported us already, because it's the money that we get through Patreon that's allowed us to change the setup in my office, so it's now more like a recording studio to be able to do these live battle reports. So yeah, huge thank you to everyone who's supported us already. Head over to the Discord, guys, if you haven't yet done. It's a great place to hang out. Lots of other content creators on there talking all things MCP, plus a few other things that we started to play there now as well. But head on over and check that out. And guys, as always, it leaves me with just enough time to say stay well, keep safe, and until next time, bye for now.